Blipbug is the weakest type, but it is my favorite. I pissed off a lot of people with my previous tier lists that I have made. So for this tier list, this is purely based off of the design of each of the Pokemon. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, as you can see, I'm doing literally every single form that I can think of for these Pokemon. We got all the Vivillon forms. This is the end-all be-all of the bug Pokemon. So we're just going to get into it. A Selgor. Now, design-wise, I don't really know what a Selgor looks like. I just see a dude skating by on his knees. It's not, there's not a lot of color. There's not a lot to it. But it's also not, it's fresh. It's not another moth. It's not another moth Pokemon. So for me, a Selgor's design, I would say it's B. There needs to be more color, maybe more to it, but it's not terrible. Now, Anorith, again, I'm not really sure what bug Pokemon this is referring to, but it looks cool. I think it's a B because I don't know what it is. Araquanid, I freaking love this Pokemon. I'm gonna be a little biased, probably put it higher than it needs to be, but design-wise, I think it is freaking awesome. It is a spider, yes, but it's not a spider like Ariados is. Ariados, it doesn't have enough legs. There's 4 legs there. Spiders, I'm pretty sure they have 8 legs. Where are your other legs, buddy? Where are they? You're not even a spider. I don't think Ariados it's not terrible design, but it's not the best design either. Armaldo, I'm gonna put it with Anorith again. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a bug. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Okay, Beautifly. Sounds like butterfly. Oh, what is that? It looks like a butterfly. So it has some cool colors that I don't see on butterflies. You're a D, but that's about it. Now, Beedrill, you're just a bee with more stingers. That's all it is. You're just a bee with more stingers. You don't even have cool colors. But Mega Beedrill, this is like a fucking wasp that's about to kill you. This thing is out for blood. It's like, oh, it's gonna fucking kill you. I love the design. And yes, I get it. It's like, oh, well, what's different than it about Beedrill? Because it's still a bee. Dude, it has 5 fucking stingers. And if you talk shit about it, that Beedrill, that Mega Beedrill, I can't save you. I can't. I cannot save you. It's gonna get you. Now, Blipbug. The colors are cool, so it gets D tier. Otherwise, I'd put it in F, because that's literally just a worm. It's just a little worm. The Burmese. I don't really like Burmese, so I'm gonna try to be objective about the way that it looks. What am I looking at? I don't even know. Are you trying to be like a little pine cone? Like, I guess. Like, I'll be honest with you. I like the grass one. The other two, straight up, I'm thinking F tier. I'm sorry. Yo, Butterfree, what's good? It's a butterfly or a moth. Pick one. Just pick one. Like, I don't care which one you pick though. It's D tier. I think it's D tier. Buzzwole. This is a swole, like the design. Look at, I mean, you probably can't see it super well, but look at the, now my mouse is covering it. It's badass. I mean, it's weird, but it's also a freaking alien. And last time I checked, Pokemon, this is like a fantasy game. Pokemon don't exist. There are animals that look similar to Pokemon, but they don't exist. The animals do, the Pokemon don't. Maybe animals don't. I don't know. Birds aren't real. Buzzwole? Freaking badass. This is absolutely A tier. Close to S tier, because it's a buff dude that's gonna beat your ass. Same thing with Mega Beedrill. You got a problem with that? I can't save you. I can't save you. Oh, look, it's a cocoon. I honestly, I couldn't even tell you if that's Silcoon or Cascoon. I think that's Cascoon, but I don't know. What is this? It's a caterpillar. I look outside and I see one. Yeah, the colors are nice. It has a cool little antenna thingy. But make it fun. Make it fun like freaking Scorch. This is a freaking Pokemon that's on fire. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit, I don't know why, of like a samurai look with its like mustache and beard. It's pretty freaking cool. This is straight up definitely A tier. I think it's an on fire, lengthy, wide centipede. But it's at least cool. It's not just a carbon copy of something I can look outside and see. I play Pokemon to escape from reality. Don't give me caterpillars. Give me a freaking piece of bacon on fire. It's pretty cool. Now, G-Max Cinescorch, you just made it longer. You're right. I'm trying to elongate myself. That's all you did, is you just made it longer. Like, it's cool, but Scorch is where it's at. Charger Bug. It's a battery. Okay, cool. D tier. Now, Comb Bee, this is like a honeycomb and a bee. Also, I'm choosing the female form because the male form is the same, except it doesn't have the little red part to it. So, I think Comb Bee, like, honestly, it's neat, but it needs more, right? Like, it reminds me of Magnemite and Magneton a little bit with how it's kind of like a combination, or Diglett Dugtrio, but there's not a single comb to it. It's multiple, which is kind of cool. But I'll be honest with you, like, while I like it and he's a happy little guy, it's a D tier or C tier for me. So Crustle, it's a fucking turtle, or yeah, turtle, Crustle, crab, or turtle. I actually don't. That's a great question. Probably a crab with crust. I think it's fucking cool. I think this is B tier. The reason why I think this is B tier is we could have gotten just a crab like Kingler, where it's just angry big crab that's gonna fuck you up. No, but this is like, I have a fucking tectonic plate on my back. Yeah, I'm slow, but when I get to you, watch out. So I think it's super cool. Now, Rabombi. I mean, I guess it's a little different than Beedrill. Or no, that's Cutiefly. Sorry, that's Cutiefly right here. That's not Rabombi. Yeah. There's a fly? It looks like a gnat. It's cute. It's a cute fly. I mean, they named it very aptly. But I mean, is it great? I'm kind of stalling because I don't really know where I would put this. Like, maybe C tier, but I want to keep it in D tier because it is what it is. Now Dupiter, I love Araquanid, but Dupiter, it's a little lacking. It's a little lacking because, again, like, it looks cool. It looks pretty regal with its like holding up the little dew on top of its head. I don't know what it's trying to do, and it's got little legs. It's not badass though, right? It's not I'll beat your ass badass. It's just like a hello. That's kind of what it is. So I'm also gonna put it in C tier. I think it's better than just a fly, but it's not like they're trying to do something or I got a tectonic plate on me. Now, Dottler, I'm honestly kind of a fan of Dottler. It reminds me of the X-Men movie where they're in like the freaking mind dome thingy majiggy. I don't know what it is, but Dottler's pretty freaking cool. I'm giving that B because I don't know what it's supposed to be, but they're doing something with it. Now, Durant. I know it's an ant, but it's kind of a badass ant. Like, I don't know if you've ever been outside, because I haven't been, but when you go outside, supposedly there are these shops, and you might find them more in rural areas, where they have these, like, very big metal sculptures or tiny metal sculptures. It reminds me of the tiny metal sculptures from those shops that I hear about, because I don't go outside. Look at me. Look at this. I don't go outside. So it's an ant, but it's a badass ant. So that gets some points. I'm going to put it with C, to be honest with you. Dustox. I mean, it's a moth with cooler colors. I can't compare it to Beautifly because that's just a butterfly. Like, it gets a C tier by technicality. I'm not the biggest fan. Now, Dwebble. It's cute, but it's a fucking hermit crab, man. That's all it is. It's a hermit crab. I'm giving it to D tier because it's there with Cutiefly. It's cute, but it's just a hermit crab. Escavalier though, this dude is regal. He's ready to fuck shit up. He doesn't even have hands, right? He can't be like, oh, look, ma, no hands. Because he doesn't have them. He has fucking spears. Fucking lances. Absolutely A tier. There's not a lot that's going to go up to S tier. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a couple ideas for what is reserved for S tier because I think that they're just awesome. But A tier, fucking lances for hands. Now, Fortress, they were doing something with it. It's like a cannon? I don't know. I don't know. Feel free to combat in the comments, fight for who you think should be there. Frostmoth, this is regal. What a regal, elegant, freaking beauty of a Pokemon. I think this is a way you can do moths without making it repetitive and boring, right? You have a really interesting and unique body that's kind of tight. Because, you know, Venomoth kind of has a similar small body type. You know, Masquerade, some of the other moths do have it, but the way that the wings come out and the antennas, like, this is a moth design that is peak. I was about to say almost peak, but it is peak. It's freaking awesome. That being said, though, it's still A tier. Galvantula. I know that I said Ariados needs more legs, but this is an electric spider. This is actually one of my all-time favorite Pokemon is Galvantula. I freaking love this thing. If I'm being biased, it's S tier. If I'm not being biased, it's still freaking amazing. It's an electric tarantula. Like, that's fucking spooky. It's not just another spider that I'm gonna see and be like, oh my god, it's a fucking spider, because I have arachnophobia. So I'm terrified of spiders. But if I saw this thing, I mean, I'd still shit my pants. But if there was a spider in the real world that generates electricity and can fucking shoot you with a lightning bolt, I'm sorry, but that's a badass motherfucker. It's also terrifying. It's going to be A tier because I'm biased and I love it. Even though it is a little bit simpler than some of the other A tier Pokemon, it's so fucking cool. Genesect. What are they doing with Genesect? What is this Pokemon? Honestly, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. They're doing something with it. It's a B tier because it has a cannon on its back. It's cool. Golisopod, though, absolutely A tier. If you do not agree, that's fine. We're allowed to have our opinions, even though they could be wrong, like yours is about Golisopod. But it's a badass Pokemon. It's so freaking cool. Now, Grubbin. This is what, like a termite or like a larva that with big little pinchers. It's cool. It's basically just it's like what Charger Bug was, where it's a battery with pinchers. Grubbin is a grub with pinchers. I don't know. It's cool. Heracross is pretty neat, right? This is a beetle that's standing up on its legs. I really like it. There's not much that they do else with it other than just make it a beetle. So it doesn't immediately grab your attention like, say, a spider that would shoot you with electricity. So I think while it's cool and they're doing stuff with it, I put it at C tier. I kind of like the beefy Mega Heracross. I don't like the look of it, but I respect what they're trying to do. That's what I got for you for Heracross, you know? It's you remember, but that's about it. Now, honestly, I don't actually even know if this is a Lumice or Volbeat. I'm pretty sure it's a Lumice, but I don't know. You want to know why? Because it's forgettable. F stands for forgettable. Joltik, it's a little cutie, but it's not really pushing the boundaries. Like, it's got some really vibrant blue eyes. I love Joltik. It's a freaking cutie, but I think I have to put it in D tier because it's not just kidding. It's going to C tier because I want it to. These are my opinions. If you don't like them, why are you watching this far in the video? I don't know. Feel free to argue with me down below. I love arguing with people on the internet. Kakuna. This is a cocoon with a tie. Have you ever seen that meme where it outlines the tie for Kakuna? So, to be honest with you, it's better than whatever Silcoon or Cascoon that is, because it's formal. It has the tie. If you see right there, the tie's right where my cursor's going over. So, it's a formal little dude, but it's a cocoon. There's not a lot you can do with a cocoon, right? It is what it is. Carablast. What bug is that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. They're doing something though. They're doing something with it. So it's definitely C tier. What they're doing with it, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Cleavor. When I saw this Pokemon, I was like, please make it a bug type. Then it is a bug type because it's the evolution of Scyther. This thing is bad ass. Probably one of my favorite bug types in recent generations. It is so insanely badass. It's like Escavalier, where you have lances for arms. Nah, this time I'm a serial axe murderer about to fucking kill you. It is absolutely S tier design. Absolutely. Probably some of the A tier Pokemon could also go to S tier, but unfortunately we're locked in where we're locked in right now. We're going for it. If you can't tell, all of this is improvised. I'm just coming up with the shit on the spot for what my tier list is, for what I think it should be. My opinion. Kricketot. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like Carablast, where I'm like, it's like a bug in a nice little coat. It's kind of a fancy coat, actually. That's a wide collar. What are they doing with it? I don't know. Now, Kricketune. This thing, honestly, I'm a big fan of Kricketune. I think it is definitely an underrated bug type. And just design in general. It's terrifying. It's definitely B tier, in my opinion. I think it absolutely deserves B tier. It is absolutely... It has swords as antennas and swords for hands. That's all I gotta say. Now, Larvesta, this is basically a praise the sun as a little larva. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks cool. And Volcarona, honestly, is one of the coolest designs that they have for a Pokemon. Feel free to fight me for it down below. I'm always down. But, you know, it's like, okay, it's a little bit more than a little Grubbin, but not by much. You know what I'm saying? Plus, also, I know I said that it's purely based off the design, but it takes to level 59 to evolve Larvesta. So I'm a little peeved. Now, Leaveney, I'm not really sure what Leaveney is. It kind of reminds me of like a Bug's Life. So it's like an ant from a Bug's Life. I don't know. Let's just put it in C tier. It's not D tier because it has a little bit to it, but like Ledian. At least they tried something. It's a more space cadet looking robotic ladybug. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of neat. Is it anything to write home about? Yeah, I would say so. I'd say it's something to write home about. You know what's not really worthwhile to write home about is Ladybug. It's a ladybug with big feet, with big spherical feet. That's it. That's all it is. Now, low kicks, kind of cool what they went for this Pokemon. I really like the way that they did this Pokemon. I really like the way that it's kind of like a little wind-up toy. And I think it's something that's super neat, unique to bugs, because I don't know if there's a bug in nature that you have to wind up, because who would be winding up that bug? So honestly, in my opinion, this is B tier, almost to A tier, just because like it is a little thin. It's also my opinion. So who's taking my opinion as anything at this point? Because honestly, it's purely just what I think. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Masquerain, like, if it's C tier at best. The only reason why I'm not putting it in D tier is because I look at some of the other, like, moth/butterfly Pokemon, and it's like, okay, cool, I guess. I don't know. Metapod. The dude's a cocoon, but not formal. He's not a formal cocoon. Why do I care? Mothim. It's a little bit more of an elegant moth. It's D tier at best. I mean, it's... Look at it. I don't know. Like, I mean, it has cool colors a little bit, but at least Masquerain has, like... I don't know. It's a little different. You don't know what wings Masquerain has. It's... Mothim's D tier. It's always going to be D tier. Now, Nincada. I would like to give this Pokemon a higher tier than it should probably be. I don't know. It's more of like the larvae stuff. I'm gonna be putting it in D tier. I think D tier is fine because what's it doing? What's it doing? Now Ninjask. Ninjask is interesting because I love the colors on it, and I feel like you can't see that in the wild. But it's also just it's just another flying bug. That's all it is. It's just another. Is it a beetle that's flying? Is it a moth that's flying? I don't know. But it's C tier at best. It has a cool color scheme, which keeps it out of D tier. Now Nimble, what is this little guy? What little bug looks like that? We're gonna put you B tier. Whoopsies. Let's put you right there. Because honestly, like, they're both really cool and neat. It's just, I don't know if they're too simple. I don't know if it's not enough colors. I'm not really sure why I don't view these as any better, because they're really cool looking. It's just they're not there yet. Now Orbeetle, I love Orbeetle. And here's the thing, is that I want to put Orbeetle in A tier. I get it. You're like, but it's just another beetle. How is it any different than Ladybug? The dude, look at this little guy. It's, number one, he's freaking reading your thoughts right now. Might even be able to tell you what to do. So it's weird that you're hating against him when he's like, hey, I'm inside your head. But it reminds me of being like super alien-like. I think it's super neat. I think he's a neat little guy that's always floating. Also, I can't put both forms in S tier because G-Max Orbeetle, hands down, is S tier. If you do not agree, then do you not like aliens? Do you not think about space and aliens that could come down and what else is out there? G-Max Orbeetle is hands down S tier. It's a freaking UFO. It's gonna beam you up, and there's nobody on board named Scotty. So hopefully you're okay. Paris. It's a fungal little critter. It's a creepy little crawler, maybe a crab with mushrooms. So I think it's kind of cool. C tier, just because I don't know. It's a little bit cooler than some of the Pokemon down here. Parasect also, because it's just a bigger mushroom. I don't know. It is what it is. Pheromosa. Now, I feel like a lot of people will be like, Pheromosa, hear me out. That's fucking weird. That's all I gotta say, is that's fucking weird. Pheromosa's pretty cool, though. Is it, I have 4 legs and I'm buff and I'm gonna beat you up? Cool. I don't necessarily think so, but I really like what they did with it, making it look very alien-like, yet still a bug. I'm definitely putting it in B tier. I think that works. Now, Pineco. Where do you think this is gonna go? It's a fucking pine cone. Pinsir. Pinsir is honestly utterly terrifying. And I mean, if you came across an animal, a bug, a beast like that in the real world, yeah, that's certain. What has a freaking mouth that big with massive horns that's just gonna attack you? I don't know. It is terrifying. I think it's badass. I like it more than Heracross. I think that Heracross is the better Pokemon, but I think that Pinsir is the cooler looking of the two. Probably some people might be mad about that. Now, Mega Pinsir, is Pinsir on steroids. This thing is terrifying. It's fun, it's unique, it's like, what the fuck is happening? I absolutely love the design for it. I think it's just, they were like, what would happen if Pinsir became a demon? That's Mega Pinsir. Because you have other Megas that's like, oh, Mega Heracross, I ate a little too much, I'm getting beefy. But the Megas where the Pokemon literally is like, I am going to kill you, there's nothing you can do about it, like Mega Beedrill and Mega Pinsir, that's the fun stuff. Still not S tier, but it's pretty good. Rabsca, I adore this. I'm a big fan of Egyptian mythology, and so when I heard of Rabsca and Relor, and it was like, oh, it's a dung beetle Pokemon, it has, you know, it's very heavy on the scarab imagery, I was very excited, and honestly, it didn't disappoint, especially the shiny form. I love this look. Now, is it the Egyptian Pokemon that I would have wanted? Maybe not, but I think at least for bugs, straight up B tier. I do gotta say, Relor drops a little bit because it is just a dung beetle, but it's a cool dung beetle at that. I hate trying to evolve it though. Now we have Rabombi. It's a B. I don't know. It's a B, but not a B. I know people like this Pokemon. I just don't see it. I don't. Oh, look! Scatterbug. It's a caterpillar, dude. Grow up. It's just a caterpillar. Now, you want to know a Pokemon that's going to fuck you up? It's Scizor. Scizor is really, really neat. Is it my favorite form? Obviously not, because Kleavor is, of that evolutionary group. But Scizor is freaking awesome. I really like it because it's kind of like Digimon-esque. I feel like it's right on the verge of being a Digimon. Is it A tier? No, because again, it's Mega is gonna fucking kill you. Look at this thing. This is Digimon. Like, Scizor is Digimon Light. Mega Scizor is straight up Digimon. I feel like that's a Digimon that we have seen. It's so freaking cool. Absolutely, it is an A tier. A tier design in my book. Now, Scolipede. This is just a big pede. A big, like, centipede. I don't know. Millipede. I don't know what it's going for. It's kind of spooky. It's kind of cool. I gotta put it in C tier, to be honest with you. Now, Scyther. It gets hands. Swords for hands. Not hands. It has swords for hands. It is freaking awesome. I'm a big fan of Scizor. Scyther. I'm a big fan of Scyther. But I don't think it cracks A tier just because the color scheme also is a little... It's not enough to get me there. Now, Sawaddle, I think, is the name of this one. Some of these Pokemon, I'm kind of forgetting their names already. There's a lot of bugs. Sawaddle is cool. You know, I feel like it's very similar to Leaveney, where it's taking a common bug and pushing it forward. I would like to put it in the same tier as Leaveney. I think it's kind of neat. Shedinja, this thing it's such a great idea for a Pokemon to have the cast of Ninjask become sentient and a freaking gnarly devil. Big fan. Put it at B tier because I really like it. I really like it. Now, Shelmet, this is kind of like a mussel. And by mussel, I mean like the food, like the little clam mussel thingy-majiggy. It's interesting. I don't know if it's a little bit more to me than just a basic bug, but it's not. There's not a lot going on for it. Shuckle, though. Shuckle's kind of fun. Shuckle is such a meme Pokemon. It's a goofy goober, kind of slinking out of his shell. It's a cool take on what could be like a turtle or something, but it really... it's C tier. I'm sorry. Hey, look at that. We have another F tier. I don't, honestly, I can't tell you. Is that Silcoon? Is that Cascoon? I don't know. I don't care either because it's F tier. Sizzlipede, this is just a little piece of bacon. It's a little piece of bacon. It's yummy though. It looks yummy. I will say that there's not enough flair to it. There's not enough flair. I think it's cool. It's a great idea for this flat peed that looks like piece of bacon, but it's definitely not close to A tier, and I wouldn't say that it's ever close to its, not to its G-Max form. So now Scorpy. I kind of like Scorpy. I think it's a cool take on a Scorpion. I mean, it's definitely still just a Scorpion. And I will say Drapion is so freaking badass, even though it's just a Scorpion. It's like a Scorpion with its arms coming out of its head. That's freaking funny. It's cool. Scorpy is neat. I like it. I'm a big fan of Scorpy, but it is, at the end of the day, still just a Scorpion. Slitherwing. This, when I heard that Volcarona got multiple Paradox forms, or when I saw that like it had multiple forms, I was like, yes. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Slitherwing more than I like Volcarona. I think it's cool, and I've definitely grown to like it a lot more because I think it's a really cool look on a past Paradox Pokemon. The way that it has, you know, the kind of, and maybe if it was posed differently, maybe I would change my mind. Maybe if it was more flying, or we saw more of its body. I don't know if that would change the way I would think about Slitherwing, but I still like it. I still think it's cool. And bug fighting is such a fun typing, right? You know, you got Buzzwole, you got Slitherwing. I know we're not looking at typings, but it is neat. But it's definitely, it's a B tier design. Now, Snom is a cutie, but I mean, it's a cool larva. I would say that it's a more unique larva than Grubbin and than Kata, but it's a cutie, and that's all it has going for it. People might be mad. Maybe not. Spupa. I don't really know what Spupa's going for. I've never been a fan of its design, really. You know, its animations in the game, the way that it looks and sits, especially in Scarlet and Violet, I've just never really been a fan of it. I think, for me, it's definitely D tier. Spidops, though. Spidops is pretty cool. I love the animations in the game. I love the way that it looks and that it moves. It's just like Low Kicks and Nimble, where it's cool. It doesn't have the cool factor in the sense of something new, but it's, you know, it's neat, but it's like, it feels like there's something missing with Spidops. It really feels like something's missing, which is why I think it's a C tier design. Because it's like, I can't put my finger on it, but I don't know what's missing. Spinarak, this is straight up just a spider. It's a spider with a little horn on it, so I don't know what spiders have a horn on it. Its color scheme is really cool, so I do think D tier fits it, but otherwise, yeah. Surskit, F tier. It's literally just one of those like fucking skipper bugs. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Surskit. I love the typing, but we're not looking at typing, so I don't care. Swadloon. It's kind of like Spupa, where it's just like, I don't care about it. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Swadloon. Tarantula, it's the same problem that I have with Spidops. It's new, it's cool, it feels like something's missing. I will say, though, I do like it more than I like Spidops, because I think it fits a little bit more with Nimble, where it's like you're weaving, and it's cool. It's like Spidops, when it evolves to Spidops, it loses even more, but there's still something missing with Tarantula. It's cool, though. It's cool. Great color scheme. It's still another Pede. Great color scheme, though. I really like the color scheme on Venipede. It is so freaking cool. But it's just another Millipede or whatever type of Pede it is. Venomoth. It's straight up. This is probably the most moth-looking Pokemon of any of the Pokemon. It's A tier for powder moves, but it's F tier for design, is all I gotta say. Venonat, it's a purple gnat. I'm not the biggest fan of the design. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not. But what I will say, Vespiquen, I really enjoy this design. I think I'm not sure what it is about the design for Vespiquen, or maybe it's earned my respect over the years, but I absolutely love it. It's a really fun take on a bee. The dress going into the honeycomb is freaking awesome. I love the top of it, the way, like, how angry it looks. I don't know. Vespiquen is so freaking cool. Yes, it's pretty simple, but it's a unique bee in the sense of it's not just a queen bee, you know? It's not just a look of a bee like Beedrill is. It's really freaking cool. Vikavolt. I want to tell you, Grubbin and Charjabug, pretty low. Vikavolt fucking flips that shit, because Vikavolt is fun. Like, this is such a fun Pokemon. I'm not even sure what it necessarily is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. It's like a charger, a battery, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's cool. And honestly, this shouldn't affect it, but this was actually one of the first shinies that I ever caught. The first shiny I ever caught was a Talonflame. The second shiny I caught was a Vikavolt. Also, I have been playing since Fire Red Leaf Green, so literally, what, Vikavolt is Gen 7? Gen 6? So it was multiple generations before I was actually getting shinies. I love Vikavolt though. Vikavolt, it's such a fun design. I don't know what it is, but what type of bug is that? I don't know, but it's dope. Now we're on to the Vivians. So for the Vivians, they are all moths or butterflies. I don't know. But the reason that I wanted to do all of them is because some of the patterns absolutely push it to another tier. Now, Vivian, it's D tier at its best, right? It's D tier at its best. The colors here, pretty basic. The form of it, I mean, it's no different than just another butterfly. But some of the designs are super cool. This design, well, I'm not sure what that form is called. That is such a good looking Vivian. It looks so freaking good. I love, like, the dark purple. It looks so good. It's so good. Another basic Vivian. These ones, you know, it's the color scheme is cool. Don't get me wrong. The color schemes are all cool on these Vivians. They work. The problem is that they don't have a cool design, or from a distance, it's like, oh, it doesn't look like anything, right? It just looks like, oh, it's just another one. This one almost breaks out for me. This form right here, this color scheme, almost gets the C tier for me, because I love the way it looks on the bottom wings, but the top wings are just a little too basic. They're a little too basic for me, so it's still just more D tiers. I love this one though. This one, it's vibrant, and I wish that's what this other one had. This red, white, yellow, blue looks so good, and if more browns were in the top wings, it'd probably make it up here. This one looks freaking awesome from a distance. Almost looks like a new Pokemon from a distance. When you're looking at that color scheme, you're like, I don't even see the little body of the Vivian. I just see the wings, and it looks so good. Again, same with this one, where it's like from a distance, it's like, is that a different Pokemon? It's so vibrant. It looks so good. It's so cool. The Pokeball one, I'm not gonna lie, it's a dark horse for me. It looks cool. It might not be as vibrant as the others, but it looks freaking gnarly. This one has the same problem where it's not enough of the other colors in there. Same with these two. They're pretty bland. Like, yeah, they look cool, and the colors, again, the colors always work. They're always there. It's just not enough. This one, again, this one almost breaks out into the C tier. It's still D tier. I wish there was, like, maybe just another color might work it. This one absolutely is C tier. That looks so good. Like, I would use, honestly, any of these, I would absolutely use in a playthrough, even though Vivian, it's not great. Vivian did kind of carry me a little bit in my bug-only playthrough of Pokemon Violet, but I want one of these forms, not this form or any of the other ones. Now here we go. I think this one's Volbeat, I think. They're doing something with it, I guess. They're doing something. I can't even find a Lumice now. I don't even know where a Lumice is. Oh, I put it in F tier. Why? Because it's forgettable. It's forgettable. Volcarona is one of the coolest fire types, one of the coolest bug types. It's not S tier, and it might be like, why the fuck would you say it's the coolest if it's not S tier? I want a little bit more, and maybe it's just the way that the sprites that I pulled these pictures from and how they look. That could be a big reason why these rankings are different. I think the Volcarona that we see in Pokemon Snap, that's a motherfucker. That is so sick. But it is an absolutely A tier, and just like what I said with the Frostmoth, this is how you do a moth. This is how you do a butterfly. You make it more. It's like a fire flower. It's so cool. It's so fun. It is so fun. Weedle. I mean, I guess you could say it's D tier. You could say it's D tier for the same reason I put Spinarak in D tier, is because, oh, it's got a horn, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the Weedle design. I love Butterfree and Beedrill. It's just their designs. It's more of I love them because it's the only bug you get in Generation 1. But otherwise, yeah. Whirlipede, I respect what they were trying to do to switch it up. And it is different. I mean, it's a wheel Pokemon, spins fast. I don't know. There's not enough to it, though. Because it's a better cocoon form than others. But it's still just like... It's a cocoon form. There's only so much you can do with it. So... It is what it is. Wimpod is fun. Wimpod is, it reminds me of like a little trilobite, I think, and it's cool. I'm not sold. I'm not the biggest fan. I think it's cool. Maybe if the colors were more vibrant, maybe that could work. But I think it's D tier. Now the Wormadams. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't give a shit. Just like the Burmies, I don't give a shit about the Wormadams. I do think that the Wormadams should be in D tier. I will be honest with you though, I do like the pink form a little bit more than the, what is it? You got the trash cloak instead of the sand cloak and the grass cloak. I do like the pink cloak. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way that the colors come together or the way it's positioned. It's just, I like it a slight bit more than the others, but I still don't really give a shit. Now Wurmple, yeah, it's another little creepy crawly little worm boy. It's cool, but that's about it. Now Yanma, it's great colors, but it's straight up just a dragonfly. It's straight up just a dragonfly. So I don't really. It goes a little bit higher than F tier for me, but I'm just not the biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Yanmega, absolutely robbed of being a bug dragon, but that design is so fun. That design is so much fun. I think it's really cool. Yes, it's still a dragonfly, but it looks straight up it looks up like a dragon. How can you look at that and tell me that that's not a dragon? I don't know. But this is my tier list for how I think the designs would go. Again, this is completely off the top of my head right in this very moment. So could any of this change? Absolutely. But I think that it's pretty fair for the most part. This is my opinion. Feel free to fight me down below. Tell me, where did I go wrong of putting something too low? Putting something too high? Just let me know down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe.